Well, well, well. A late winner from Alexander Mitrovic. Fulham 1, Swansea 0. Sammy, unbelievable.
Limbs FC. That was really enjoyable. That was one of my most enjoyable Fulham goals in an awful long time. I thought we'd blown it. I thought Mitrovic misses that penalty. And I thought we were about to see the first Fulham 0-0 at Craven Cottage in about 8.5 years. And then Mitrovic pops up with that. What a ball from Kamara. Twice in a week that he's got out on that right-hand side and just delivered a half-decent cross that Mitrovic can get on the end of. And he thrives off that. The way it came off the bar, it was just pure drama. I love it, Jack. I just love the drama.
It's so satisfying when you don't really play very well and you get the result in the last minute. Take that over a 5-0 any day of the week, Joe.
Yeah, 100%. We were just saying it was a bit like the Huddersfield game in the Premier League season. Exactly the same situation, actually. But yeah, it's just a weird one because it seemed like nothing was really going for us the whole game. And then just one moment of real quality, and it just had to be him. It just had to be him.
Well, I mean, where would we be without Mitrovic? That's the real question. Leeds won 1-0. Fair enough. So we had to match their result to keep within 5 points. We've done that, but we missed a penalty as well. Talk us through the penalty.
I mean, the penalty. It was a poor one from Mitro. He doesn't get it enough into the corners. I'm not sure Mitro's that great at penalties.
No,
even the ones he has scored for Fulham, I don't think he's that. I don't think it's ever been that conclusive, and you wonder if Abubakar maybe has seen Mitro take a couple of penalties in training, and that's why the whole Huddersfield thing happened. But hey, we've come up winning, and it could be the result that pushes us on. I'm not saying that it will, but draw that tonight, and the top two is absolutely over. Now, who knows? I'm pretty sure Leeds are playing Hull on Saturday, and at Yorkshire Derby, who knows what happens. That might just give Fulham some impetus going into the Preston game on Saturday. Let's hope we can kick on, because I think that could be a huge, huge moment in our season, and I really hope it is. I'm just delighted. There's no words. You forget about 90 minutes of tedium with 1 second of class.
Joe, they had a couple of penalty shouts tonight. Swansea, I think we huffed and we puffed. We couldn't break them down. They had their chances as well. Brewster had a couple of chances. I thought he was lively. But at the end of the day, if you don't take your chances, you're not going to score.
No, and shout out to Ayew for the biggest head loss I think I've ever seen after the penalty. I don't know if anyone saw, but after the penalty, he also went up to the referee and was sort of saying like justice. But then also big mention to Joe Bryan, who the Fulham Twitter account just pointed out. I'd forgotten about it with the goal celebrations, that Bryan had just made a brilliant challenge at the other end to stop Gallagher going through on goal, which would have been a great chance for him to be one-on-one with Rodak. So, I mean, it's one of those. I don't think Swansea showed a lot of quality. I thought they defended well enough, but it was one of those games where I think if you are going to challenge to go up, you have to get something from one of those games. I wasn't too impressed with Swansea. According to what I've read, I mean, I couldn't see it from the Hammersmith end, but the Ayew penalty shout was apparently a bit of a dodgy challenge from Odoi. I haven't seen it back, so it might have been a fair enough decision, but maybe we rode our luck a bit. But I thought we deserved to win overall.
But we've had some bad luck in recent weeks. Look at the Millwall goal a couple of weeks ago. I think if anyone deserves a little bit of luck at the moment, it is Fulham. Fair play. We've managed to ride it out, and we go onwards and upwards. And in a few weeks' time, no one will remember the penalty we didn't give away in this match. If we can kick on from this, then so be it, because we've had a few unlucky breaks in the past few weeks. So it's about time something went our way, Jack.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that if we strip it back, do you think if we play that kind of performance against a Preston team, we'll get a result? I'm not sure. I think we do have to improve in areas. I think we're not as clear cut, we're not as clinical as we once were. But tonight we'll focus on the 3 points. Yeah. We'll celebrate, and then we'll move on Saturday. And I think 5 points off Leeds. I think it's still on for top two. We can keep within like 3 points of Leeds once we play them. There's every chance we can still pip top two.
100%, Jack. I think you're completely right. I think you just have to stay in the picture. So yeah, great that we got the results tonight. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah, we love 1-0 wins, don't we?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's literally just Stoke FC. But what can we do if we got absolute bagsmen up front? So we just have to keep going like that. I mean, it'd be great if we could score a few more goals and make it a bit more comfortable. But Leeds are doing exactly the same at the moment. They're winning 1-0. I guess they've got to sort of blink first for us to get in there. But we've still got to play them.
We'll finish off with this. The quality of the league isn't great. There's no teams running away with it. West Brom, yes, are doing quite well. But apart from that, it's anyone's game really at the top of the table, especially in the playoffs. I forgot where I was going with this. Mitrovic, that was it. 23 goals for Mitrovic this season. Incredible. I mean, when we signed him for the summer, I was like, this guy is going to be the difference between promotion and not getting promoted. And he's proving our point.
He is. I mean, he goes missing for a lot of games, but then he pops up with the crucial moment. He did against Derby, and he did again tonight. That is the quality that he has, and you know that if you put Mitrovic in the side, there is always a niggling chance you will get a goal, and that's what Mitrovic provides. He just has that moment of quality in 90 minutes of barren football. So yeah, great result, and always happy to have him on our sides, even though sometimes he makes you pull your hair out.
Final thoughts?
Just on to Preston, really. I was getting a bit worried at the end that we were going to go into that Preston game 7 points behind Leeds, because they obviously were winning 1-0 and they saw it out. That goal is massive. Preston is not an easy game, but I'm really confident because I thought I saw enough tonight. There was a few areas where I thought we could improve and be a bit more clinical going forward, but in the first half especially I thought it was much improved, and I think bar the Barnsley game recently, we have sorted out the defence. We look solid enough, and I'm optimistic for the Preston game.
Well, there we have it. Clean sheet, 1-0 win, last minute win. It doesn't get much better than that.
Right.
Mitrovic at just being Mitrovic and scoring goals when it's important. We'll see you on Saturday for Preston at home. Hopefully we can pull off a similar result, similar performance, and we're still in it. So Leeds, watch out. We'll see you Saturday, you Whites. Farrell, 2-0 victory, Preston North End. Wasn't a great game. Kicking the Hammersmith first off is always a bit disappointing, but we got the job done, and West Brom dropping points is interesting as well.
Yeah, and obviously now we're in that run of fixtures where we're literally playing everyone in the top 6 or 7, so every win and every point that we get is a point that we're taking off other teams around. So it's very, very positive. Preston are obviously trying to fight to stay in the playoffs because they started in 6th, and I think they stay 6th now. So there are no mugs out there, and they showed in the first 10 minutes that they started very brightly, created quite a few chances, but after that it was pretty much plain sailing. And to be honest, I think Fulham are a bit fortunate to get the goal.
Yeah, fortunate David Nugent own goal. Always fortunate when it comes from like that kind of situation. I don't think we were at our best again today. I don't think we're playing at our best, but we're still managing to churning up results and we're keeping clean sheets. So you have to look at that and say that's positive.
Yeah, absolutely. And once we got the goal, what's quite weird is that I didn't really have the feeling that we were going to give it up after that, which is kind of a strange feeling for a Fulham team in recent memory. I mean, I think that's actually the only 3 times that we've actually given up points from winning positions this season, which would have been Millwall, Sheffield Wednesday and West Brom actually, and that's not happened for quite some time. You know, they only really had one real good opportunity from a corner, which was pretty much straight at Rodak, which was a save you expect him to make, but it was a stale second half. That's kind of how I'd phrase it. And you know, we put plenty of huff and puff, but we couldn't quite sort of blow the Preston house down once more.
There was a stat where we haven't scored any goals from fast breaks, but now we have scored a goal from fast break. Abubakar Kamara putting it away, but it didn't make it easy, and that is very much Abubakar Kamara.
Yeah, he does do well. Him and Cavallero did their utmost to try and mess it up, but thankfully they finished it off. You know, not for the want of trying. But unfortunately for Preston, it fell to our fastest player in the team and on the pitch today. But you know, we resisted well. There's another clean sheet on the board, 2 in a row, which is always pleasing to see. Yeah, and it was a very satisfying result in the end.
I don't want to tempt fate too much, but I did have a little glance at the table, and we are like 12 or 13 points quite securely into the playoffs. Do you think we have cemented that top 6, or we've still got some way to go?
Yeah, I think for some time we've actually cemented our place in the top 6. It would have taken some capitulation to make sure that we would actually finish outside the playoff positions. I think quite positively that we've always tried to look up and not down, because even when we think we're almost putting a bad run of form together, we just pick out a result. You know, we didn't pick up any wins for the 3 before the last game, and now we've got 2 wins in a row, which is really good. But you know, I think this is really important to pick up the win today, because you know we've got a good knack about picking up a good result and then faltering slightly. So it's really good, and obviously we've got another playoff hopeful in Bristol City coming up next Saturday.
Yeah, finally, I was just going to come on to Bristol City. Obviously, they dropped points against Millwall today. They've kind of dropped off of late. They lost in the week as well, I think, against Huddersfield. So, good time to play them. It's never an easy place to go, Ashton Gate, but we haven't lost there since we entered the Championship.
Yeah, that's good. And I think the only time I went there was that brilliant 4-1 victory when Ryan Tunnicliffe finished off
That was the one I didn't go to.
Oh, okay. So stay away next weekend. No, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. There should be a very good travelling contingent, especially since they've opened up their brand new, well, it's now quite a massive stadium. So there's a big stand behind the goal. I think something like 2,500 Fulham fans should be there. I'll be there trying to, rip my lungs out to try and shout and spur the team on, and hopefully we can, name another unchanged lineup because, as these injuries just keep piling up throughout this season, it's been so difficult for Parker to name another team. The only thing that I would probably change is try and switch Cavallero and Knockout around, because we keep trying to put balls in the box, which is quite different to what we've done recently, and it doesn't quite work with Knockout and Cavallero playing inverted wings because it slows it down, and we need to sort of maybe pick up the pace a little bit. But to be honest, it's working. I don't mind them playing or anything like that. I thought Bobby Reid was much better than he was on Wednesday. Kenny was at his brilliant best. A big shout out to Cyrus Christie coming off the bench and probably was our best player out there, which is really good.
Well, thanks very much, Farrell. We'll see you next week for Saturday's game against Bristol City, 12:30. 2 very good home wins in a row, both clean sheets, both getting last-minute goals to get the game, to get the 3 points. So, happy days for Fulham. 6 points above Brentford. We'll see you next week against Bristol City, and have a good week. Come on, Fulham. Thanks very much. Yeah, hopefully it's warm. See you later. See you next week.